Hello students, I am Anand Srivastava, Assistant Professor at Hajia Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. In today's video, I will be talking about the congestive heart failure. The whole topic of congestive heart failure we will cover in a two series of videos. In today's, from congestive heart failure, we will cover the various content like first we will define what is congestive heart failure, and after that we will talk about the various subsequences of congestive heart failure and what is the compensatory mechanism of the human body that develops during congestive heart failure, and at last we will discuss the goals of the treatment in congestive heart failure. So, starting from defining it, what is congestive heart failure? As its name indicates, it is a kind of heart failure, and as we know, the heart is responsible for pumping of blood to whole body. For what? Why we body require blood? Because body have to whole body for metabolic demands. As we know, the natural function of the heart is to pump the blood to the whole body for fulfill the demands of metabolic needs, right? Once the heart becomes unable to meet with this demand, जब हार्ट इस डिमांड को फुलफिल ना कर पाए, then we say the person having the problem of congestive heart failure. In a recap, we can say it is a fundamental problem, clinical pathological problem in which the heart does not provide sufficient cardiac output that is required for the metabolic needs of the body. So, after the definition, now we will cover what is the subsequences of heart failure. What are the mechanisms that are responsible for the development of congestive heart failure? So, in many books or in many videos, you will find that the congestive heart failure due to many problems, like congestive heart failure it can be due to low output failure. It can also be high output failure, or it can be systolic failure, or it can be diastolic failure. All the failure, whether it is low output or high output, or it is systolic or it is diastolic, they all individually or combinedly leads to the main factor that causes congestive heart failure. One by one we will discuss all in detail. So, starting from low output failure. Low output failure, as its name indicates, heart is fail because it is developing cardiac output very less, which is not sufficient to meet with metabolic demands, in which the main problem, as we are saying, in low output failure, the heart does not providing the sufficient cardiac output. It means the cardiac output is not sufficient, and the reason can be automatically, we can understand the reason might be there will be problem in systole, in contraction of ventricle. If the contraction will be improper, the sufficient cardiac output will not be occur. So in low output failure, the cardiac output will be less, and the reason for less cardiac output or low output will be improper contraction of left ventricle. Improper contraction of left ventricle due to, or you can say improper contraction is also defined as improper systole. Am I clear? So now this is, I hope कि this is ये clear होगा. Low output failure क्या है? Let's have a recap of this. Low output failure में जो आउटपुट है वो कार्डियक आउटपुट वो लो हो गया है, और आउटपुट लो होने की वजह से है, जो होने की वजह यह है कि जो सिस्टोल है, हार्ट का सिस्टोल, जिसमें से वेंट्रिकल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करती है दोनों, राइट वेंट्रिकल एंड लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल का कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इम्प्रॉपर हो गया है, सिस्टोल इम्प्रॉपर हो गया है, जिसकी वजह से सफिशिएंट कार्डियक आउटपुट नहीं आ रहा है. उसको हम डिफाइन कर रहे हैं एज ए लो आउटपुट फेलियर. नाउ वी विल मूव टुवर्ड्स हाई आउटपुट फेलियर. इट इज वेरी सिंपल. अगेन it is high output failure. Now आउटपुट तो यहां पे हमारा कैसा है, हाई है, लेकिन फिर भी हमको प्रॉब्लम है कंजेस्टिव हार्ट फेलियर की. उसका रीजन ये है, लेट सपोज आपकी ये बॉडी है, दिस इज योर बॉडी रिप्रेजेंटिंग योर बॉडी, एंड दिस इज हार्ट, एंड हियर हार्ट इज प्रोवाइडिंग कार्डियक आउटपुट टू द body. In first condition, when we were discussing about the low output failure, the cardiac output was less. Cardiac output was less, and the requirement of the body was high. That was the problem. Probably the problem development was of the congestive heart failure. Now, in this case, in high output failure, the cardiac output will be high, and in relation to this cardiac output, metabolic demand, this increased cardiac output again not meeting with the metabolic demand of this body. Means यहां पे cardiac output तो ठीक है, CHF में हाई आउटपुट फेल्योर में कार्डियक आउटपुट का इशू नहीं होता, लेकिन बॉडी की मेटाबॉलिक नीड के लिए जो ब्लड की रिक्वायरमेंट है वो बहुत ज्यादा हो जाती है, तो इंक्रीज्ड कार्डियक आउटपुट भी इसको फुलफिल नहीं कर पाता, और उस केस में हम बोलते हैं ये कैसा है, इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ हाई आउटपुट फेलियर. हाई आउटपुट फेलियर की बात करें, लाइक कई आपको प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, लाइक इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द एनीमिया और थायरोटॉक्सिकोसिस, और वी कैन सी इन थियामिन डेफिशिएंसी, थायरोटॉक्सिकोसिस एंड एनीमिया that responsible for high output failure. Now हाई आउटपुट फेल्योर भी आपका क्लियर है, ट्रांसपेरेंट है, इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है, बहुत इजी कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं सबके. नाउ वी विल टॉक अबाउट सिस्टोलिक फेल्योर. व्हाट इज सिस्टोलिक फेल्योर? सिस्टोलिक फेल्योर अगर आप डिफाइन करते हो सिस्टोलिक फेलियर हुआ है तो आपको बोलना पड़ेगा इट मींस आपका क्या फेल हुआ, सिस्टोल. इट मींस इम्प्रॉपर आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्शन है. क्लियर है इतना? इम्प्रॉपर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. तो ये कई तरीके की, बहुत सिंपल है, सेम पहले की तरह, बस कहने का हमारा तरीका अलग है. उसको हम लो आउटपुट फेलियर और हाई आउटपुट फेलियर डिफाइन करते हैं. अगर हम दूसरे तरीके से सीएचएफ को डिफाइन करें तो हम कई बार कह देते हैं कि सिस्टोलिक फेलियर है, डायस्टोलिक फेलियर है. बहुत सिंपल है, फेलियर है क्या आपका, सिस्टोलिक फेल्योर है, इट मींस क्या फेल्योर है आपका, प्रॉपर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. अब देयर आर मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स, देयर आर मेनी डिजीज, लाइक इफ वी टॉक अबाउट ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease there will be improper contraction and that will leads to the systolic failure of heart, results in congestive heart failure. In same way, if we talk about the diastolic failure, it means in diastolic failure the expansion of ventricle, let me make it very clear to you, this is left atrium and this is left ventricle. Once the blood shifts from left atrium to left ventricle through mitral valve or bicuspid valve, there will be expansion of this ventricle, and this expansion, once all the blood shifts from this to this, there will be starting of contraction. At the end of maximum expansion, the volume present in the blood, I already told in previous lecture, will be end diastolic volume. So in diastolic failure, the muscle of the ventricle will not be able to expand proper. If once these muscles of the ventricle will not be expand properly, then the filling of the blood that will not be adequate, and once the filling of the blood will not be adequate, there will be lesser amount of blood that coming out from the aorta, from the left ventricle, means the falling of cardiac output. Am I clear? Again recap, वेंट्रिकल में यहां प्रॉब्लम किसकी आ रही है? डायस्टोल की. डायस्टोल मीन्स एक्सपेंशन की. अगर एक्सपेंशन नहीं होगा, ब्लड की फिलिंग प्रॉपर नहीं होगी. अगर फिलिंग नहीं होगी मीन्स कार्डियक आउटपुट भी लेस होगा. And these kind of problem actually occurs in most of the patient of hypertension or dilated cardiac myopathy. So again recap, systole failure, there will be problem in systole, contraction will be affected, less cardiac output, mainly in ischemic heart disease. If we talk about diastolic failure, there will be problem in diastole, relaxation of the ventricle, which leads to the less accumulation of the blood, which leads to the less cardiac output, and there will be a problem of heart failure. Probably these problems widely occurs in case of hypertension and dilated cardiac myopathy. So now we have, up to now we have discussed about the definition of congestive heart failure, and after that we have discussed the subsequences of congestive heart failure. Now we will talk about the compensatory mechanism, because itself body had some regulatory mechanism for everything, and these regulatory mechanisms somehow stop, or you can say control, the problem that occur during the congestive heart failure. Like now we are talking about compensatory. Now we are talking about compensatory mechanism, or you can say what is the natural automatic regulatory mechanism in our body, that once the CHF occur, once the person diagnosed with the CHF, how the body of that person regulate itself inside the body from the central nervous system to overcome the congestive heart failure. Now, in the compensatory mechanism, as we know, we have discussed, and now it is up to transparent, in congestive heart failure there will be less cardiac output. ये तो clear है. Less cardiac output. Once the less cardiac output inside the body, and all the student of already I suppose कि आप सबने पढ़ा होगा कि once the body have less cardiac output, there will be activation of sympathetic nervous system, because sympathetic nervous system, we know the sympathetic nervous system involves in the elevation of blood pressure, and once the blood pressure increases, there will be venous return increase, and venous return increase in the cardiac output. Means the ultimate goal of the activation of sympathetic nervous system is to increase the decreased cardiac output for the regulation of congestive heart failure. Now this is sympathetic nervous system activated, and this mechanism is natural, because the decreased cardiac output is sensed by baroreceptor present on कैरोटिड आर्क। कैरोटिड आर्क ये भी क्लियर कर देते हैं, कुछ बच्चों को डाउट होगा इसमें। ये दिस इज लेफ्ट एट्रियम, दिस इज लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल, दिस इज aorta. So where there will be the bifurcation of aorta further occur, bifurcation means branches. अब aorta एक पाइपलाइन तो पूरा स्ट्रक्चर बॉडी में जाएगा नहीं, उसके ब्रांचेज होंगी। उस ब्रांचेज जहां पे कैरोटिड साइनस जिसको हम बोलते हैं, that carotid sinus have a special stretch receptor, and these stretch receptor is actually known as baroreceptor, and these receptors are actually they have ability to sense the decreased cardiac output. अब CHF में क्या है, cardiac output decrease है, it already known है। अब once the decreased cardiac output occur, there will be decreased pressure on the baroreceptor, and once these receptor will sense the decreased blood pressure due to decreased cardiac output sensed by baroreceptor, and these baroreceptor had direct connection with the central nervous system, and the central nervous system once sensed that baroreceptor receptors are sending the signals of decreased cardiac output, then the central nervous system start activating sympathetic nervous system. So this is the minor mechanism involved. Now let's recap to our discussion that okay, now decreased cardiac output sent by baroreceptor increase sympathetic nervous system. In the sympathetic nervous system there will be activation of various receptor involved in sympathetic nervous system, and like few receptors alpha 1 and the beta 1 and beta through the alpha 1. Let me recap to make it very easy again. Okay, look, this increased sympathetic nervous system is responsible for increased cardiac output by activating through beta 1 receptor. Because the heart rate becomes increased, there will be increase in cardiac output, and that is helpful in CHF, because in CHF naturally the cardiac output has become decreased now. But in case of long term, if the problem persists, congestive heart failure, body again and again try to compensate this problem with this mechanism, there will be the activation of alpha 1 receptor and already activated beta 1 receptor. Alpha 1 receptor is also responsible for vasoconstriction, and beta 1 receptor is also responsible for increase in heart rate and also responsible for increase in renin release from JG cell of the kidney, juxtaglomerulus cell of the kidney. I will discuss in detail about the beta 1 and the renin release in the lecture of diuretics. So here we will limit our lecture up to only the alpha 1 receptor and beta 1 receptor. Alpha 1 receptor is responsible for vasoconstriction and beta 1 is responsible for release of renin, and these two mechanism, renin is responsible for further angiotensin 1, angiotensin 2 and further release of aldosterone, and the aldosterone is responsible for the release of salt retention in body, and vasoconstriction is also responsible for increase in preload or venous return. If the venous return and the preload increases, the working ability of the myocardium will become high. अगर आप preload बढ़ाते हैं तो preload बढ़ाने से in the last lecture I have discussed what is the role of preload. तो अगर आपको इसका कॉन्सेप्ट देखना है तो आप लास्ट वीडियोस प्रीलोड का जो स्पेशली है वो देख सकते हैं. प्रीलोड और वेनस रिटर्न अगर बढ़ता है तो कार्डियक जो मायोकार्डियल की वर्किंग है वो भी बढ़ जाएगी. मायोकार्डियल की वर्किंग बढ़ेगी तो मे बी चांसेस, अगर ये कंजेस्टिव हार्ट फेल्योर की प्रॉब्लम लो आउटपुट, हाई आउटपुट, सिस्टोलिक या डायस्टोलिक या कुछ भी हो, तो उसमें अगर मायोकार्डियम इन्वॉल्व है, इट मींस अगर हार्ट के मायोकार्डियम के वीक होने की वजह से अगर आपको कंजेस्टिव हार्ट फेलियर हो रहा है, तो उस मायोकार्डियम की अगर आप इफिशियंसी को बढ़ाते हैं, वर्किंग एबिलिटी को बढ़ाते हैं, अगर आपका लेट सपोज 1 मिनट में आपकी हार्ट बीट 72 हो रही थी और अब आपने उसको 80 कर दिया या 92 कर दिया, 95 कर दिया, कुछ भी, अब तो उससे क्या होगा, मायोकार्डियम को ज्यादा वर्क करना पड़ेगा, और जितना ज्यादा वर्क करना पड़ेगा वो उसके लिए क्या है, प्रॉब्लमेटिक है, क्योंकि वहां पे उसकी मायोकार्डियम ही ऑलरेडी डैमेज है। तो हम कई बार लॉन्ग टर्म में ये देखते हैं कि बॉडी की जो कंपनसेटरी मैकेनिज्म है, इन शॉर्ट टर्म दैट इज यूजफुल, बट इन लॉन्ग टर्म itself body creating the problem of again and again for the person of CHF, means the problem of CHF as soon as the time passes it becomes very dangerous for that particular person, so that we say now the problem is decompensatory. That's why in next video of this congestive heart failure I will describe what is compensatory and decompensatory mechanism. The mainly we will focus on compensatory mechanism, that body have ability to regulate itself from congestive heart failure up to here, but once these once the body is regulating for a long time, now there will be the problem of these also occur in the body, and that results in decompensation, means उसका कंट्रोल अब बॉडी इटसेल्फ नहीं कर पाएगी, तो हम उसके लिए क्या लेंगे, मेडिकेशन लेंगे। क्लियर है इतना? सो दिस इज द कंपनसेटरी मैकेनिज्म। नाउ वी विल टॉक अबाउट what will be the goal to treat congestive heart failure patient. Mainly we will, as we have discussed, in cardiac heart failure there is, actually we are discussing goals to treat. अगर आप ये समझ लेते हैं तो आपको जितनी भी एंटी कंजेस्टिव हार्ट फेलियर में जो भी मेडिकेशन यूज होगी वो आपके लिए बहुत इजी होगा समझने के लिए। तो अभी आप ये देखिए कि गोल्स क्या हैं। देखिए हमारा जो मेनली हम जानते हैं कि CHF में क्या हो रहा है, लेस कार्डियक आउटपुट। अब एनी हाउ वी हैव टू इंक्रीज द कार्डियक आउटपुट। फॉर इंक्रीजिंग द कार्डियक आउटपुट वी हैव टू इंक्रीज preload, we have to decrease afterload, and we have to provide adequate supply of blood to myocardium। इस पॉइंट को हम डिटेल से 1 by 1 समझते हैं एक डायग्राम की हेल्प से। बहुत आसान है, अभी सबको क्लियर हो जाएगा आप लोगों को गोल्स क्या हैं और किस तरीके से हम इसको कंट्रोल करते हैं। तो इन अ शॉर्ट डायग्राम, दिस इज योर, ये डायग्राम आपका बार बार यूज होगा, ये आपको आना चाहिए। एंड दिस इज नाउ दिस इज लेफ्ट एट्रियम, left ventricle, mitral valve, aorta, and this is artery, and these are arterioles, and arterioles eventually become less in diameter and again form what, capillary, and capillary increase in diameter and form what, venules, and venules increases in diameter and makes what, makes veins, and these veins are form either, these veins forms major veins, these are major veins, can be superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. This is right atrium and this is right ventricle, this is pulmonary artery, and here what is, here is lungs purification, and there will be pulmonary vein, and again back blood to the left atrium. Now actually the problem is here in congestive heart failure here, because the coming blood cardiac output is getting low cardiac output is actually the problem of CHF. This is, here I am representing, this is muscles of, this is a muscle of left ventricle. There are three ways you can increase or you can make your goal to treat the congestive heart failure patient for increasing, because naturally here is less cardiac output in case of CHF. What we have to do is that, first we will, in third point, that was increase the blood supply to the cardiac myocyte. Let's suppose there is a blood capillary and this capillary is not properly dilated. This capillary is not properly dilated, so that there will be less supply to the myocardium, and this coming blood is responsible for giving the nutrients so that this myocardium remain healthy. If the supply of the blood will be less, then the healthiness of this myocardium will be affected. So if we increase the dilatation of these blood vessels so that we can increase the nutrient supply through the blood to this myocardium, so we can, if we increase the healthiness of myocardium, this myocardium will work more properly and will contract more forcefully, and there will be increase in cardiac output. So that the one way to treat the acute cardiac heart failure is to provide arteriodilatator, and these are actually coronary, these are coronary artery, and once these coronary artery become dilated, there will be increased supply of bloods meets with this healthy, provides the nutrient to this myocardium, and this myocardium now becomes more power, takes nutrient from the blood, and forcefully from higher force it will contract, there will be increase in cardiac output. Now, so that what we have studied, we have increased the blood supply to myocardium. Now, the second point is that, as we have already discussed in last lecture, the blood which is coming back to the right atrium from this systemic circulation is called actually venous return. If we supply the higher amount of blood to this cardiac, to this left ventricle, then there will be increase in cardiac output. So that if we increase venous return, and here we are providing the healthy myocardium, this will be increased in cardiac output again. This will increase in cardiac output again. यहाँ पे दो तरीके से देखते हैं. देखिए, अगर वेनस रिटर्न आपको बढ़ाना है तो आप दूसरे तरीके, आप एक पॉइंट पे ये भी कह सकते हैं कि सर हम अगर वेनस रिटर्न बढ़ा रहे हैं तो वेनस रिटर्न बढ़ाने में तो आपका ये मायोकार्डियम का वर्क भी बढ़ गया, तो मायोकार्डियम के वर्क को हेल्दी करने के लिए आप दे रहे हैं ना, पैरेलली आप प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं उसको आर्टेरियोडायलेटेटर, और इधर वेनो कॉन्ट्रैक्शन दे रहे हैं, तो वेनस रिटर्न बढ़ेगा, कार्डियक आउटपुट बढ़ेगा, इधर से हेल्दी मायोकार्डियम है, उसके लिए हेल्पफुल है. नाउ, तो अब हम दूसरे में बात क्या किए, टू इंक्रीज प्री लोड, मीन्स मेन फैक्टर क्या है यहां पे, सप्लाई ऑफ द मायोकार्डियम, प्री लोड. नाउ वी विल टॉक अबाउट आफ्टर लोड, हाउ यू विल मॉड्यूलेट आफ्टर लोड so that the person of the CHF feel relaxed. So after, what is afterload? It is, I already discussed in previous lecture, it is resistance offered by the systemic area, this systemic circulation area. So if we in a diagram I will show you, let's suppose the diameter of this artery is this. If we increase the diameter this, then there will be resistance offered to this blood in the for the coming in this area is now become less because the area has been widened, and this widened area we can induce by using arteriodilator. So all the arteriodilator responsible for increase in the artery, especially arteriole, which is the resistance vessel, and once these arterioles become dilated, there will be less resistance offered by this area over the coming blood, and once this myocardium will feel that on a less contraction, this is responsible for increase shifting the ब्लड फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल टू द एवोर्टा, बिकॉज जो फोर्स लग रहा है यहां से उसको रजिस्ट कर रहा है बाहर से आने में, वो कम हो गया है क्योंकि ये डायलेट हो गई है, तो अब आसानी से कार्डियक आउटपुट इसका इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. सो व्हाट वाज आवर गोल? आवर गोल वाज इंक्रीजिंग टू कार्डियक आउटपुट, एंड नाउ दीज आर द थ्री मैकेनिज्म थ्रू विच वी कैन easily modulate or we can say easily increase the cardiac output so that the body can feel relaxed in congestive heart failure. So now this is all about congestive heart failure. In the next video lecture, I will be talking about the various kinds of drug used in congestive heart failure, and one by one I will discuss in detail all the drugs, all the mechanism of action, pharmacological action and adverse effect. So I hope now you have a clear crystal clear concept of definition, subsequences of congestive heart failure and the compensatory mechanism involved, and at last you have idea about the various goals that you will use to treat congestive heart failure patient. Thank you.